Welcome back, everybody, to the Cowboy Slot Channel's Sunday Slot Talk, a Slots 101 show, episode number 4. We're your hosts, Brantley and Mark, and we're here to answer your questions. Got quite a lot of you already in here today. Welcome to everybody, and a big special thank you to our moderators, Tammy, Susan, and Dave. We really do appreciate everything that you guys do. One second.
You okay? You still there?
Sorry about
No.
that, guys.
Oh, now I can hear you.
All
Okay,
right. Had a
we're
little
good.
bit of a technical snag there, but we are back. And also, guys, I wanted to really quickly go over with you. We did get our new poker chips in stock, including that wonderful green color. These are our new designs. We have the new Patriot chip as well as a lavender chip. And we also do have an entire set of these in our shop. They are available right now, and they have already been selling like crazy. So, these poker chips sell really fast, guys, so they always sell out, so grab them while they are available. You can get them in our shop at ropethejackpot.com. We also do have our forums on there where you guys can ask your questions 24/7. All right, so let's go ahead, let's dive into some questions, because we already got quite a few questions backed up here in the queue. We're going to take this first one from Paul. Paul says, hi from Boston, Mass. Was at Twin River in Rhode Island, and the person next to me hit the Dancing Drums grand 11,000. Didn't think it was possible. Glad for her, but wish it were my wife or myself. Yes, Paul, Dancing Drums is actually known for hitting the grand more frequently than a lot of the other Link games or the pick style games are. It was actually one of all of the games that were pick style games at the casinos that I've worked at. We paid out Dancing Drums quite a lot on there. And we do have a $5 super chat from Crimson. Crimson, thank you very much. We really do appreciate that. What are your thoughts on property branded machines like Luxor Riches, Majestic Lions, or Circus Circus coin ops? Are they worth playing? Very good question, and thank you so much for the super chat. We really do appreciate it. Most of those games are actually really good games, especially Cherry's Jubilee, like at MGM Grand. The new MGM Riches is a lot of fun. Honestly, I think they're pretty good. I mean, most of them. The Cherries Jubilee is probably the lowest volatile game that you can possibly find, but the rest of them, they're also pretty low in volatility. So I would definitely recommend them. Good question, and thank you very much for your super chat.
Yeah, thank you, Crimson. All right, and Jack James says, in a game where you can vary the bet in number of lines, are you better off max betting less lines or playing max lines with a smaller bet? Are there different pay/par sheets for each line count? So that really largely depends on the game. There are instances like, for example, the new 9-line pinball and the 9-line top dollar. They very much do have different par sheets or pay sheets for each of those different lines that you're betting. But it really, like I said, depends on the game. Here's the thing. It's really difficult to decide what the actual best bet is in that situation. I think what you need to do is really evaluate the game and what you're potentially missing out by not playing the max credit and max lines. For the instance that we were just talking about with the new pinball, if you are not betting those full 9 lines, then you don't get the opportunity to get 5 shots in the bonus, and then otherwise you're only getting 3 shots or 2 shots or 1 shot. So your chances go way down in order to get pretty good returns on your bet. But other games, you can get away with not betting the max lines. Like if it was, say, a triple diamond 9-line or something, and you don't feel like doing all 9 lines, well, you can bet less than that, and you can still get 3 triple diamonds for the same amount. So there's not really a big benefit to betting all 9 lines. So it really depends on the game. You got to look at the game rules and see what you're missing out by making that adjustment. So hope that helps you out there, Jack.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jack. Also, guys, really quick, because we got over 200 of you in here and we just got started and we've already got quite a lot of questions backed up. So if you are new here, just to let you know how this goes, we do take our questions in order. So be sure to stick around. We will get to as many questions as we possibly can, but we might not be able to get through to all of them. So if we do miss your question, you can always ask it on our website, ropethejackpot.com/chat. It's a lot of fun. All right. Question here. Do casinos report jackpot winnings to the IRS, or does the IRS rely on players with yearly returns on file? The casino does report that. Anytime they give you a W-2G, they will report it. They are required to do so. And also, Tracy says, what do you think about cashing out and putting a ticket back in several times? It makes no difference whatsoever. The machine reads credits, any type of credits, whether it's voucher, whether it's cash. It just reads it as coin in credits. It doesn't matter if you cash it out and put it back in. There's no resetting of slot machines or anything like that. Nothing happens. It doesn't make any difference. So thank you very much for your question. Appreciate it.
All right. And Cheryl Sims says, are you still in Oklahoma? No, we got back just a little while ago, actually. We were there last night till almost 1 in the morning. It was a very long night, but we had a lot of fun. We met about 6 or 7 of you guys out there, so it was a lot of fun to see you guys. But no, we had a pretty good session. I did pretty well last night. We kind of flip-flopped. Last time, my wife Jody did better, and this time I did a little better. That's how it goes sometimes. They're slot machines. We're still playing the same games that we always play, but you know, sometimes somebody just has the lucky press of the button, and it just happened to be me last night. But we had a blast out there. So, and Seattle Susie Q says, is there any difference between two machines? Same game, same denom, but one is a high limit machine. One is in the high limit room, and one isn't. Typically, no. Whenever casinos put out slot machines on the floor, they set the payback percentages on the denomination, no matter where it's located. There may be some exceptions to this, but that's not the general rule. The general rule is they basically say all of the $25 machines are going to be set around 95%. And then all of the $100 machines are going to be set at 97%. And it doesn't really matter where they put them, if they're just outside or inside or anything like that. So I think what you're going to find more often, though, is that on the high limit rooms, they're going to have all those machines that we talk about all the time, like those old classic double diamonds and all that. That's where they're moving all of them to. Again, because that's, you know, high limit gamblers know what to expect from those machines, and those are the ones they know to play. And so they move them in there. But if you can't afford to be playing, you know, that high level, don't do it. But if you did find one outside of the floor, a lot of times you see like the ones that are kind of in the middle of being high limit, like $5 machines. We see a lot of double top dollar and pinball machines that are both places. So feel comfortable that they're set pretty similar there.
Very good. All right. And Dave says, how is the volatility of Invaders return from the planet Moolah? So this one's kind of an interesting one. So a lot of people ask about this game. So the original, it was just triple double Moolah back then, was actually a really low volatile game. So this is kind of a different take on it. Obviously, it's going to have a lot of bonuses and features and progressives and stuff like that. So it is going to be a little bit higher in volatility. I have not really looked into this game too much to really make a determination on it. I would have to really look into this individual game. I just know that the original triple double Moolah was a very low volatile game, but of course, you know, as games change and adapt with time, so does their volatility, especially if they change the math like they did in the instance of Invaders from the return from the planet Moolah. God, I can't talk today. So I will have to really look into that one. And a question here, does a jackpot refer to only pay table designated jackpots, or hand pays would be a jackpot? So this is actually a good one. There are two definitions. Jackpot and hand pay are actually two very separate things. So a jackpot is going to be defined as anything that's $1,200 or greater, anything that's going to require IRS documentation. So that's what a jackpot is, $1,200 or greater. A hand pay could be anything that is that they have to pay you out. So, for example, there are some slot machines out there where it might be less than $1,200, like their hand pay lockup might be $800. I've seen that. Maybe the machine had an issue cashing out and they had to bring the cash to you. That's considered a hand pay. It's not taxed. So a hand pay is just anything without tax forms attached to it. So thank you very much for your question. Appreciate it.
All right. And Deborah Davis, is the percentage payback based on the volatility of the machine? No, it's not. So people do get this confused a little bit. So let's explain it again real quick. So volatility in the machine is how the game designer, the actual manufacturer of the game, designs the game to play out. Okay, there's low volatility and then there's high volatility and a bunch of stuff in between. So low volatility games, again, give you more frequent hits, but they're smaller. They're smaller in nature. There's no crazy $1 million hits for the top line, you know, pay line, for example. The higher volatility is the exact opposite of that. You have some really crazy big amounts, like $1 million progressives and things like this. But the trade-off there is that you're going to have a lot of dead spins. You're going to have a lot of spins where you're getting less than your bet back. You're basically chasing a big win. So keeping that in mind, The other side of that is the payback percentage. The payback percentage is the finish line of both of those scenarios. So when you have low volatility and high volatility, even though the payback percentage might be the same on both of those styles of machines, the way it gets to that finish line is much different. You know, imagine the low volatility, just kind of these little, you know, waves along the way, and then it finally reaches that payback percentage return at the end. Where the high volatility, it's just flat, 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 and then you get this big jump, and then it's flat and big jump like that. But the payback percentage is going to be the same on those in the end. So I hope that kind of helps you understand what the differences between those are, because it's the manufacturer is the one that designs the volatility, and the casino is the one that picks the payback percentage for that type of machine in the casino, for example. And I'll answer one more real quick, Brantley. And Denise says, how do you know when a grand is ready to hit? You don't. There is no way to tell when a progressive is going to hit. Even must hit by progressives, you still do not know when it's going to hit. You just know that it has to hit by a certain number. But it could be all the way at the top of that number. It could happen. There is no way possible to know exactly when a progressive is going to hit. Even if it's maxed out or anything like that, it doesn't give you any clues. And anybody that tells you that they know when a progressive is going to hit is full of it. There's just no way to tell. We've seen them go all over the place. They could hit back to back. They really could, because the odds of hitting the progressive on those machines is the same every single spin. So yeah, unfortunately, if we all knew a way to hit the grand jackpot and we knew when it was going to hit, that thing would be going off all the time, and it's not the way it works. So, but thank you for your question.
Very good. Thank you so much. All right. And Tracy says, do you think the higher amount of money you have in the machine, the better your chances of hitting is? No, you don't. You have the exact same chances, guys. The slot machine doesn't care how much money is in it. You could have $1, you could have $1 million. It's going to play the exact same, and your chances are going to be the exact same. So you don't have to worry about putting in a particular amount or anything like that into a slot machine to better your chances. And Kathy has a question. When you are presented with a bonus that allows you to pick from 6 different wheel configurations, you said to pick the one with the least volatility. Which one do you pick the one? And I think the question got cut off there. So with this, if there is an option to pick your bonus, so we're just going to use dancing drums for this, and I'll kind of move quick on it because we've explained this a little bit in the past. But so on dancing drums, for example, you have the option to pick. You could pick 3 spins with more ways to win, or you could pick all the way up to 15 spins with less ways to win. So essentially what that's doing is it's picking you're picking your volatility. So the 3 spins with more ways to win is going to be a much higher volatile option. The 15 spins with less ways to win is going to be a less volatile option. Again, it's that high risk, high reward scenario. For me personally, I would normally just pick either the one in the middle, or if I'm up for the day and I'm doing really well, I might pick the 3 spins just to take a little bit higher of a risk. But it really depends on how you want to play. And that's essentially what you're doing when you're picking that bonus, is you're picking your volatility of the game. So I hope that helps to answer your question, Kathy. Thank you very much for that. And Tina says, have you ever played Quick Hits? What's your thoughts? I have played Quick Hits. Quick Hits was popular in several of the casinos that we've worked at. I can tell you this, of all my time working in the casinos, we would pay jackpots every single day, and maybe like once a month they were on Quick Hits. It doesn't really hit as often as people think it does. So I like the original Quick Hits version. That one's kind of fun, but some of these the newer ones. Now I will say this: they've done several takes on Quick Hits. They have that new game out that's at the high limit feature where everything on the wheel is $1,000. That's the high limit Quick Hit Blazing 7 progressive one. That one is a really good one. They did a good job with that. But generally speaking, their Quick Hits, there's just so many variations of them. So I would kind of stick away from the Quick Hits.
All right. And NYM4 Benny 22 says the top dollar best choice is random, not the best choice. That is false. The best choice recommendation is not random whatsoever. It is a fixed formula. So if you actually go into the game rules, and you can do this on the newer ones, If you go into the game rules, it will tell you what the formula is. It will say if the first offer is 50 credits or less, it's going to recommend you to try again. If the second offer is 45 credits or less, it's going to ask you to try again, etc. It is not random. It doesn't know anything that you don't know. It doesn't know what the offer is coming next or anything like that. It is a very fixed formula. And it's based on what the average bonus round is on a typical game like Top Dollar. But the important thing that you know is that every single version of Top Dollar, that number is different, and it's becoming way more complicated with this new one that came out, because it largely depends on the amount of lines that you're playing, on what those bonus take offer, try again suggestions are going to be. So my advice, and I'm glad they do this, but in those newer ones, go into the game rules and it will tell you precisely what that number is, and it can't be random if it's in the game rules. It is not random whatsoever. But whether you take the advice or not, that's really up to you. All I always say is that if you are new to the game of Top Dollar, you've never played it before, absolutely go with the advice it tells you. After a while, after you play Top Dollar long enough, you might start feeling like there's some borderline ones, like maybe 45 credits where it's telling you to take. You're like, no, I'm here to gamble. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go for it. But you know what to expect at that point, because you've played Top Dollar enough that, you know, you're going to get that dreaded 15 at the end or 10 or something like that. You know that it could happen, and that's up to you to decide. And that's what makes the game really exciting, in my opinion. You just don't know what's going to happen if you end up being greedy and you try again on something that's kind of a decent offer. So, but thanks for your question. Really appreciate it. Or comment, actually.
All right, guys, we'll get right into some more questions here. And also, there are 358 of you in here. Please make sure to like this video. Everybody hit that like button right now if you would. If you're on your mobile app, all you have to do is swipe out of the live chat and you can hit that like button. We would really greatly appreciate it. Also, be sure to stick around because we do have several questions backed up. We're taking those questions in order, so we will get through as many as we possibly can. So stick around to see if your question gets pulled. All right. Suzanne, what are your thoughts on Firelink machines? Love you guys. Well, thank you very much, Suzanne. We really appreciate having you here. Firelink is growing in popularity. It really is. I have seen some good and some bad come out of Firelink. I have tried it myself. It's not normally a game that I would play. However, by looking at the machine, by looking at the game rules, by looking at everything that's involved with the Firelink, it's still a high volatile game, but it's not as bad as, say, like a Dragon Link would be or a Lightning Link. I think if you play any of the Link type games, you probably have better luck at the Firelink machines. Especially, it's got that really cool feature, you know, where it just keeps building up and you can break into those next rows and stuff like that. So really fun game, really fun game. But I don't have too much technical detail on Firelink right now. All I can say on that one is it's not as bad. It's still high in volatility, but it's not as bad as some of the others. And Seattle Suzy Q, does it matter if you play 1 cent, 5 cent, or higher denom, not bet amounts to get a progressive win? It really depends on the game. It really, really is going to depend on the game. It's going to depend on the lines. It's going to depend on several other factors. So it would really all depend on the game. Always read those game rules too. And Larry has a question. I played 5-line Top Dollar original version. I got the bonus, and the last offer was 10 credits. The highest was 55. Not my day to win. Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Top Dollar. Follow those game rules, like Mark was saying. And Mark, I'll let you chime in here on this one because I know Top Dollar is really your game.
Yeah, that one's really tough. 55 is probably one that I would really struggle with on that 5-line Top Dollar. Now, if it was the single pay line, that's a take all day long, because usually they don't go that high on the single pay line version. But the 5-line, you know, usually in a bonus round, you can get that 50 bill to light up, but sometimes you just don't get it. So yeah, it happens sometimes. I've gotten burned on, it's my favorite version. Even I've gotten burned on it before. So it does happen, but better luck next time. Keep playing that one though. I think you'll be surprised overall outcome of it. All right. Let's see. I go down here. I wanted to take a couple of these questions since I was just in, at WinStar. So Alan says, when you were in Oklahoma, were you playing Class 3 or Class 2 machines? I was actually playing both. And believe it or not, I was actually doing better on Class 2 machines this trip. Usually I don't. And again, just for everybody, that is the bingo style machines. I was actually doing pretty good on those. And ended up actually getting a hand pay on a $5 machine. So it was pretty cool. But the nice thing about WinStar, especially, and one of the things that we noticed while we were there for the second time, is that the majority of the games in there now are Class 3. Class 2 are actually starting to get difficult to find, and I think that's great. I think Class 3 are just the better choice. They can do more with them. They're a little bit more fun to play. We always recommend those on this channel. Whenever you're playing a Class 2 machine, it's again, it's just like going to a bingo hall. You don't know what's going to happen. There's no random number generator inside of the machine, and because of that, it's very limited on what the machine style can be and excitement level and all that kind of stuff. Though they're coming out with some new touch screen type ones, but I didn't play any of those. And then Matt Hayes has a question: why, when the bingo pattern shows it should be a win and then it's absolutely nothing? All right, so I did a short video. It'll be coming out pretty soon where I went a little bit more in depth about how that's working, but I'm going to just give you a really quick breakdown. So there's several things that are going on whenever sorry, it was like a bang on the side of my house here. So there's several things that are going on whenever you're playing a Class 2 bingo machine. So the first thing, whenever you press the spin button, it's going to generate a new bingo card for you. So you're going to see the bingo card wherever it is on the machine. You're going to see it change, and there's going to be a bunch of numbers listed there. Now, some of those numbers will be in yellow, highlighted in yellow, and some will be in white. Yellow backgrounded or highlighted numbers indicates possible winning number matches on the bingo card. The key word to that is possible. That just means that if the number is drawn from the bingo server and it matches a number on your bingo card and that number is highlighted in yellow, then you will get the match. Okay? But that's still not the end. The end is it has to be a pattern that pays something. So even if you see a pattern, let's say that you get a bingo card where most of it is highlighted in yellow, so you think you have a really good chance of getting a pattern there, it still relies on what the bingo numbers are being called from the bingo server. And if none of those match or they don't match a pattern, you're still not going to get the win. And the other thing that complicates this even further is that you never know what bingo game you're playing. We were watching it very closely. There were instances where Jody, my wife, next to me, we had the same bingo numbers being called on the machines next to us. And then later on, I was playing next to Dave, Gamble the Globe, and we had different ones. And it can even change in the middle of your spin, too. You can press the spin button, and then you got a new bingo game going on. So there is so much going on. That's why it's unpredictable. You will never be able to tell if you're going to get a win or not, and there's no way to game the system to hit the button at the right moment and anything like that. There's just so much going on to that. So I hope that helps explain it a little bit. Again, I did a show and tell video where I explain what's going on when I'm doing the spins and all that, and that'll be coming out soon. So you guys look forward to that if you're interested more in the actual in-depth on how those bingo cards are being generated and how wins are produced from them. Thanks for your question.
Very good. All right, we do have some super chats coming in. $5 from Steve. Steve, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. Guys, all these super chats, super stickers are very helpful to the channel, so we really do appreciate you guys. Steve asks, how do you become a millionaire playing slots? My answer is be a billionaire. Start off as a billionaire, and then you can become a millionaire playing slots. It's very hard to make a living off of playing slots, guys. All right, and Sue, $10 super chat from Sue. Sue, thank you very much. Hey, Brantley and Mark, I have no question to ask. I just really enjoy listening to both of you giving your expert advice. Thank you. You are so welcome. We really appreciate each and every one of you for being here and for those super chats. All right, back to some questions. I'll take this one from Mike. Nice article about you in the Casper Star Tribune in today's paper. I did not know that we were in that paper. I'd never got a call from Casper Star Tribune, but we have been featured in quite a few media outlets recently. Actually, our picture was on the front page of this paper, the Kemmer Gazette, recently, and Mark and I have a photo together in the centerfold of the paper there. So yeah, we have been featured in quite a few media outlets as of recently. So word is really starting to spread. So that is very cool to hear that the Casper Star Tribune has picked up that story. I know media outlets, a lot of times they share information back and forth. So that is really, really cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. And KF, is there a time limit to using your free play? Typically, yes. Typically, yes. It really all depends on the casino. Usually, it's like we'll give you free play for this week, or free play for this weekend, or this day, or something like that. Typically, yes, there is a time limit to use your free play. So, thank you guys so much for those questions. Appreciate it.
All right, and Carlos has a question here. What's your opinion on Wolf Run Gold? Yesterday I played for like 2 hours and only had the bonus once. So we joke about this a lot on this channel, but listen, guys, for all of these like Buffalo, Wolf Run, Cleopatra, all of these games, if you really want to know the best one to play, go back to the original. The original Wolf Run, the original Buffalo, the original you know what I'm saying? If it adds platinum, gold, super progressive gold, platinum, ultra, like all those words just tell you that there's a lot more going on in that game. And they are doing that a lot these days. They are taking the true classics and making them way more volatile than the originals were. So the original Wolf Run is actually a pretty good game to play. It's actually fairly low in volatility. So if you can find the original Wolf Run, that's good. I have not seen the gold, but I can tell just by the name of it that it's probably not a good one to play. So I would pass on that one and go see if you can find that original Wolf Run, because I think you'll do a lot better there. Thank you, Carlos.
All right. I got 2 super chats here. $5 super chat. Any general thoughts on Silver Strike? My luggage is about a pound heavier flying home from Vegas. Love these live streams. Don't feed the dragons. Well, thank you very much for your super chat. Silver Strike. I'm not too familiar with that one. Mark, are you familiar with Silver Strike at all?
Isn't that? I think Silver Strike is kind of like double gold, but it has the like the symbols are. I have the like you have all the symbols like sevens and bars and all that, but you have the Silver Strike labeled on it, and I think that makes it a multiplier. I'm not really sure though. I'm gonna look that up while you take another one, Brantley, and we'll see.
All right, we'll
as soon as
look it
I
up
look for a picture of it, I'll figure out what it is.
We'll look it up and we will get back to you. $2 from Steve. Steve, thank you very much. Bingo Brantley, funny but true. Best 2 guys. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate that. Actually, guys, I love the game of bingo. I really do. One of my first jobs ever working in the casino industry was actually working in bingo. So that's a fun little fact. That's how I kind of got my foot in the door with the actual casinos, and I loved the game of bingo. I used to play the game of bingo all the time, so I am a fan of bingo. Thank you very much for your super chat. We really do appreciate it. And Christopher says, since you guys have the experience, what schooling is needed to become a slot tech with casinos all over the country? A slot tech has to be highly sought after profession. You know, it was for a while. I haven't really seen many casinos posting for slot techs in a long time. Every casino is going to have different requirements. Typically, you're going to have some kind of a technical background. To my knowledge, there's not any schools. Every casino is going to independently train you. And then they'll send you to manufacturers to get training and stuff like that. Manufacturer field techs will come in and help train you. So it's usually all done on a independent level within the casinos. So I wouldn't think you would need any outside schooling. That would kind of be a waste. But really just a technical background or a background working with computers or something like that will really help get your foot in the door. And again, every casino is different. Every casino has different requirements on that. And I'll take one more here. Reginald, I only play at the casino on a cruise ship for points and free drinks. Would I find, or for points and free points, would I find it different if I played at land-based casinos, better odds? So again, with those cruise ships are going to be regulated by the country in which the ship is flagged under. So, you know, like if you're cruising on Carnival has their ships flagged out of the nation of Panama. So it's going to follow Panama's regulations and whatever Panama has set forth on that. As for better or worse odds, I mean, there's so many variables involved in that. So it's really, really hard to say. But just look to see what the actual cruise ship, not the company, but the ship itself is flagged under. And that will help tell you a lot. All right, Mark, I'll take it back to you.
All right, sounds good. And you guys are definitely letting me know. As soon as I saw a picture of it, I knew what it was. So Silver Strike gives out the special coin. So it's your typical old style slot machine, but if you get the Silver Strike symbol on that last reel, this thing rotates and it spits out like a commemorative coin. I think they're worth like $20, but a lot of people just keep them. So thank you for, I see many of you told me about that. So thank you so much about that. And we have a super chat here from Sean Lashley. So thank you for the super chat. Great channel, guys. Is there a difference between playing high limit slots, $1 denomination, $25 spin minimum bet compared to a regular floor machine for max credits on a $1 denom? What do you prefer, if any? No, there's really not going to be any difference there. I think if you're not in the short term, it's not going to make any difference. Let me put it that way. I think you should. I think you're saying if Brantley, could you help me out with this one? I'm like getting fuzzy here. Like,
yeah, let's see. Is there a difference between playing high limit slots $1 denom, $25 spend minimum compared to a regular floor machine for max coins on $1 denom? What do you prefer? So there is not going to be any difference if it's the exact same game. There's not going to be a difference just because it's inside of the high limit room versus not in the high limit room. Now the game could be different. Obviously, like if you're comparing a $5 double diamond in the high limit room to a $5 Dragon Link on the main floor or something like that, obviously then there is going to be differences. But if it's the exact same game, it's not going to make a difference whether it's in the high limit room or whether it's on the main floor. Thank you very much for your super chat. We really appreciate it. I hope that helps to answer your question.
Thank you, Brantley. I just had a brain fart there. I was like, what am I reading? Thank you so much. All right, back to questions here. Crimson says, what's the difference between a 2 credit and 3 credit top dollar aside from draining your budget faster? Well, you're true about that last statement. So there are actually some differences, but when it comes to the actual bonus round itself, completely the same. If you can find the 2 credit version, I always recommend playing that one. But there are some differences. So the 3 credit version, you're basically playing 2 credits of double diamond and then the bonus on top of it. Okay. And then the other difference is that you actually get a bigger jackpot amount on that 3rd credit. So it's 800, 1600, and then 2400 for the 3 credit version. So the 2 credit version maxes out at 1600 credits for the 3 double diamonds, and the 3 credit version is 2400 for those 3 double diamonds. But I think all things considered, I still recommend playing the 2 credit one because you're playing top dollar for the bonus, not getting the double diamonds. It could happen, but it's more likely you're going to get the bonus. So I would play it for that if you can find it. But sometimes you don't have a choice. All the ones at WinStar were 3 credits. You can't change it to 2. So that's what it is. Thank you, Crimson.
All right. We do have a $10 super chat here from Deborah. Deborah, thank you very much. Brantley, been to Grass Creek, Wyoming, and shot my first deer there. Love Wyoming. Beautiful state. I have not been, but yes, we have so much good hunting opportunities here in Wyoming. Definitely, if you are a hunter, this is the ultimate place to be. Thank you very much for your super chat, Deborah. We really do appreciate it. All right. And question here from Mary. I was at Twin recently and just sat down and put a $100 credit voucher, and it kicked it out saying could not redeem voucher. I've never had that happen before. What causes that? It could be several different things. It could be, either the voucher, sometimes those vouchers rub off a little bit and it just couldn't read it. Sometimes it depends if it was if it was a higher limit machine, maybe it needed something bigger. I don't know. It could be a million things. It's usually going to be a problem just with the voucher. You can go up to the cashier's cage and just get another one. That's usually the best solution for that, but it could be one of a million things on why it wasn't reading. So I hope that helps to answer your question. But yeah, just swap it out up at the cashier cage. And Karen says, how do I tell the difference between mid volatility and high volatility? Very good question, Karen. So with this, we do have an episode that's all about volatility in our library. It has a purple background. Moderators, if you would put a link up to that volatility video, it is very, very helpful. But determining between mid and high, it gets a little bit different because you really have to look at the machine. You really have to look at those game rules. So pretty much, the more a game has going on, more features, more bonuses, more picks, more stuff like that, it's going to be higher in volatility the more that gets added to it. You can also typically look at the title of the game. If you have, let's just say quick hits, for example, you have, just traditional quick hits. Then you have quick hits platinum. And then you might have, quick hits super ultra mega with the wheel and pick bonuses and this, that, and the other. The more stuff that gets added to the game, the higher the volatility is typically going to be. That's the easiest way to help identify the volatility. So I hope that helps to answer your question. And tap on that link if our moderators drop that for the volatility video and check that episode out. And thank you very much for your question. We really do appreciate it.
All right, and shout out to Bobby Earl. Thank you so much for joining the membership. And again, guys, on the YouTube membership, you guys get access to a special show that we do on Monday nights, so tomorrow, and where we just it's really chill. We just have a really good time. So members get access to that live stream. And so thank you so much, Bobby, and we hope to see you there tomorrow. I look forward to it. All right, and I just saw this question come up. So Matt M says, "No, I disagree. The high limit machine is likely set at a higher payout versus a floor machine. Floor machines with a penny denom versus a high limit with minimum dollar denom will be set differently." That's true, but what we were talking about is a dollar machine on the floor and a dollar machine in high limit. They're going to be set about the same. They take the denomination, and casino floor wide, they set what it's going to be for that denomination, regardless of where it is. Now, if there's going to be a floor machine that's a penny machine and a high limit machine that's a $5 machine, absolutely it's going to be different. The one in the $5 machine will absolutely be set at a higher payback percentage. But you're not comparing apples to apples here. Like, you're comparing, two different denominations, and those are always set differently. But it's denomination. That is that is what the deciding factor is, not really the floor location. So just wanted to get that clarified there. But thanks for your comment. I really appreciate it. And Paul says, "I'm sure state laws are various, but are casinos required to all types of slots on their properties, low and high volatility machines?" No, they are not required at all. If they wanted to fill their entire floor with high volatility penny machines, there is nothing stopping them from doing that. But the problem is that they will probably get kicked in the butt by doing that. People, especially you guys, have told us many times where you've walked into a casino and walked the floor, which you should be doing, by the way, and you end up seeing nothing but penny machines and high volatility machines. And then you leave and you go to another casino that has the games that we talk about. So it hurts them by not doing that. And most casinos do try to do a pretty healthy mix of both, because people have different styles of play. Our style of play is lower volatility games. That's what we talk about all the time, because we think the benefits of playing a lower volatility game far outweigh the benefits of playing a high volatility game. But there are different types of people, and that's totally fine. I mean, we get comments all the time from people like, "We love Lightning Links. We hit good on it." Great. That's good, but you probably know what you're expecting, and that's the most important thing. And so if you are a risky person, you only play slots because you like to take the chance of getting some of those really gigantic wins, then cool, do it. Those high volatility games are built for you. That is what they're designed for. But if you don't put a mix in there, they're not able to cater to all types of players. And so you will see a pretty healthy mix in most casinos. And if they don't, like I said, they're going to feel it. They will feel it eventually. But very good question, Paul. That's a good question. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much, Paul. We do have a super chat coming in here from Ryan for 99 super chat. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. Just bought my first rental home. Going to take a break from remodeling and head to Vail, Colorado. Any good casinos in Denver? I see a lot of reservation. So Denver, obviously, you've got Blackhawk, which is probably going to be your closest. Blackhawk is pretty good. It's been a long time since I have been out there, so I really can't give a current current up-to-date thought on Blackhawk, but it's been a long time since I have actually been out to Blackhawk. So you will have to let us know how it goes. Post it in our forums. That actually is a great place if you're getting ready to head out to some place and you want to know what's the best casinos to go to. You can always ask on our forums 24/7. You can talk to everybody in your area. Post that on the Colorado forum. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there right now that would love to jump in and help. So post that out there and see if, who knows, maybe someone can let you know, like, hey, this casino has this new machine or this new machine. There's a lot you can do with those forums. So thank you very much. And thank you so much for that super chat. Also, guys, really quick, we do have our brand new poker chips in stock now, including the green. Everybody was asking for green. We finally have it. We've also got a new design of our Patriot poker chip and that beautiful purple poker chip. They are for sale right now on our website, ropethejackpot.com/shop. And we also do have a whole set of these that comes with 2 of the camo wristbands and a cord bungee. You get a little bit of a discount by buying the set. Those are on there. They have been selling really fast. We notoriously always will sell out of poker chips very quickly. So if you guys haven't yet gotten your poker chips, head on over there. All of those sales do go to help out our channel, and we really, really greatly appreciate that. So check them out. They are a lot of fun. All right. And Kathy says, you can tell a lot by these questions that there are a lot of preconceived wrong notions about slot machines. You are 100% correct, Kathy. You know, and the biggest problem with that is it's really kind of the casino industry as a whole. It's really kind of their doing, because the casino industry has never truly been transparent about how a lot of these things are. And when obviously superstition is very, very strong with gamblers. Superstition is so strong with gamblers. And when you have, you know, no facts or wrong facts or anything out there like that, people are going to start believing these things. You know, for example, I know a lot of people always ask about turning the volume up on slot machines. That was 100% started as a joke. That was started as a joke, and people ran with it as fact. And now you've got people out there saying, oh, you have to do it because it increased. That was started as a joke, guys. And that's typically, you know, and a lot of people out there, they'll hear the volume rumor and they'll say, oh, well, that sounds ridiculous. But most of this stuff is ridiculous, you know, and that's just how it is. But that's why we're here. We're here to educate you, and we don't sell, you know, nothing is for sale here on this channel, guys. We don't sell classes or courses or anything like that. All of our information we provide to you guys 100% for free. So, you know, we're here to educate you guys. We've worked inside the industry. We've actually been there. We're not here giving you guys answers of, oh, well, we think. No, we've actually been there. We've actually worked on the inside. So we know how it is. And we're just here to give you guys the facts. So thank you very much for Kathy. I really do appreciate that comment.
All right, I'll take a comment to follow up what I was just talking about. So Hassan says, it seems like casinos shoot themselves in the foot by investing so much in high volatility machines, especially when most people leave feeling taken advantage of because their bankroll went quick. That is right. And that is actually one of the things that we are trying to get casinos to understand, is that when people go in and play high volatility games, they are under the perception that the machines are set tight at that casino because they are not getting those hits. And that's not what's going on. It's the style of game that they're playing. Dave, my wife and I were walking through the other day, or yesterday, and I heard somebody's like, man, this machine never pays anything. I hate this place. And I'm like, yeah, but look what you're playing. I mean, that's what I wanted to tell him, politely, of course. But I mean, it's because he was playing a super high volatility game, and that's why it wasn't paying anything. And so, yeah, if they do just fill the casino with that, it's going to be rough on them. And people are going to start talking, and that's what most people think when they hear about people losing on slot machines. They think, wow, they got the machines tight over there at WinStar. You definitely don't want to play there. It's like, no, you can play there and you can win. We did it last night. We did really well, but we were playing the correct machines. And so it makes a big difference there. But good comment there. All right, let's go back to questions here. All right. And Deborah says, why does it seem the two symbols starting to show up when you're almost out of money? Seems like to coax you to put more money in. No, it's not because of the money or how much credits or anything like that, but they do that, and it's getting worse, unfortunately. A lot of the game programmers will build in those teases to try to just think that you almost got something. And it's playing into the psychology. It's trying to get you hooked in. You almost got it. Boy, that triple diamond was one off. I almost got it. Let me do another spin. Maybe it's coming. I see those triple diamonds. They're starting to show up a lot now. They're about to land. Nope. That's not what's going to happen. Most cases, it's not what's going to happen. But yeah, they build that into it, but they don't look at the coin, how many coins or bills or whatever amount that you have in the machine. It just seems to happen that way. I remember we were talking about quick hits earlier. Those old 5 real quick hits where you get the 2 free games almost every other spin. It's like blink, blink, nothing. Blink, blink, nothing. It's like, that's all by design. It's making you keep playing because you think you almost got it. But you guys are smarter than that. You're looking past all that. You know that it's just a trick to try to get you to keep feeding money in. So, but yeah, that's what's going on there. And like I said, it's only getting worse because they're starting to really experiment more with that on these machines. So good luck out there.
Yes, best of luck. All right. Question here from Mark. Does playing a higher amount into Lightning Links give you more coins that spin past in the bonus, the coins on the virtual reels that spin in the background? So no, it doesn't. It doesn't give you more coins. It just makes the value of the coins higher when you increase your bet. That's essentially all it's doing. So you're not getting more coins. You're just getting a higher amount on the coins. So I hope that helps to answer your question. And Brian says, since the MGM takeover of the Cosmo, I've noticed the slot machines are a lot tighter. My January 2022 trip was fantastic. However, everything thereafter was very MGM-ish. So a lot of people would actually disagree with you on this, Mark and myself included. We only usually gamble at MGM properties, and we have had fantastic luck there. And again, machines don't get tightened or loosened when they are changing over. Actually, the casino really, the machines have not been touched there at the Cosmo. So luck of the draw. That's really, you're going to have those good trips. You're going to have those bad trips. It unfortunately just happens. That's gambling. But as for the machines being tighter, no, they haven't tightened any of the machines or anything like that. And thank you very much for your question. We really appreciate it. And really quick, I'll take one here from Seattle. Susie Q, in your top 5 games to play video, you mentioned Double Diamond is attached to several other games. What does that mean? So there are a lot of games out there that have Double Diamond that are attached to another game, Pinball and Top Dollar included. Yeah, like Mark's got behind him. I've got the pinball right here, pinball and Top Dollar included in that. You just have to be careful because on some of those games, they can be attached to really high volatile or hard to get bonuses. So that's what we meant by attached by. So thank you very much for your question. We really appreciate it.
All right, we got a couple more super chats in here, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats. Really, really appreciate it. Peter Cook says, does stopping a machine, or as some have called it, rapid firing, make a difference? I feel that the moment you hit the button, the outcome is true. Your feeling is absolutely correct there, Peter. As soon as you hit the spin button or pull the handle, your fate is sealed. You cannot do anything to manipulate the win. People swear that they can see the bonus symbol coming down and they can stop it real quick. I assure you that's not what's going on there. Slot machines like that are not skill based, and you're not going to be able to manipulate the outcome. It's all visual effect after you hit that spin button. So your feeling is definitely right on that. And $5 from Kevin Deal. Kevin's been with us for a very long time. He's real active on the forums too. So thank you so much, Kevin. Best slot channel on the internet. Good job, guys. Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get back to a question here. And Michael says, would you say casinos buy or do they lease slot machines? So the majority now actually lease. I would say probably 20 years ago it was flip-flopped. They would just buy the machine outright, but they were a lot cheaper back then. If you compare what these older, like the real old style, like this Top Dollar over here, compare the cost to manufacture something like that compared to the ones that you see in the casino now with these huge displays and curved monitors and all this kind of crazy stuff. They're very expensive. And the thing is that leasing slot machines gives the casino a huge benefit because they can swap machines out regularly if one is underperforming. Like if they can take more chances, essentially. They can put a game in, and if people are just not playing it, they can go to the manufacturer and say, we want to swap it out for something else that seems to be doing better. Where if they purchase the machine, they would have to sell that machine in the aftermarket, and they're not going to get anywhere near the benefit that they would just swapping out the machines during a lease. So because they're so expensive, it's just a much better way to go. They still do buy machines, but it's not as common as it was before. And that hurts people like us because if they lease machines, that means they're not going to end up for us to purchase later on. So, some of the newer ones that are out there right now, we probably will never see in our homes because they're leased. But that's just the way it is sometimes. But I hope that helps answer your question, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Michael. Really do appreciate that. EJ Laughs a Lot is reminding everybody to please like this video. It's very, very simple, quick, and easy, and it helps us out tremendously. If you're on your mobile app, all you have to do is swipe out of the live chat for just a moment so you can hit that thumbs up button. We really do appreciate that, guys. Thank you all so much in advance for doing that. And Steve has a question here. I'm going to Punta Cana. They do have Hard Rock there. Are they regulated the same as the U.S.? The answer is no, they are not. Every country is going to be different. every country is going to have their own regulations. They're going to have their own stipulations on gaming and stuff like that. This is also why we tell you guys to focus on volatility, because the thing is volatility cannot be changed. Volatility is not a setting. It doesn't matter. Once they build the machine, it doesn't matter where in the world that machine goes, the volatility on it is going to be the same. So just focus on low volatility and don't worry about all of the rest of the paybacks. But to answer your question, the answer to that is no. They're not going to be regulated the same. And DJ, good day, Cowboys. When I maxed out the old school top dollar $100 bet, $200 to spin, how come I don't get 200 times my bet? It's 100. Educate me, please. Well, it is still a slot machine, so you can't expect it to always give. You're not going to, even if you pick the best possible machine, you're not going to win the top line jackpot every single time. And like Mark has explained with those top dollars, the offers are all, the recommendations for take offer or try again. It's a prefixed formula that the machine works on that. Mark, do you want to add any more to this about top dollar?
Yeah, there's never a guarantee that you're going to get any kind of times your bet back on any spin. In fact, if you got 200 times your bet on any machine, that is an outstanding win. Outstanding win. Usually, some of them 20 times your bet is what you typically expect. So, yeah, again, it is a slot machine. It doesn't even matter if it's top dollar. And with your comment here, it doesn't matter what machine you're playing. If you're expecting 200 times your bet because you're betting 100, that's not the expectation to have. I think you're going to go down a dangerous path thinking like that. So just be careful. All right, I guess I'll go. My turn. All right, let's see. Wendy Jones says, if you had your choice to bring an oldie back, what would it be? Mine would be the Lord of the Rings. Well, I guess I've brought it back here. But actually, Cosmo, I found one at Cosmo. Boy, it is in rough shape. You can barely see the reels anymore because it's just all blown out. But if you want to play Lord of the Rings in a casino, Cosmo still has one. It's way in the back. It's kind of hard to find, but I loved all those style. They had that. They had the Willy Wonka, of course, that I have over here. They had Godfather. They had all those, and I really enjoy those games. They tried to bring some of them back in like newer cabinets and variations, but they didn't do too well. So that means they probably aren't going to come back with that style anymore, which is unfortunate. But what about you, Brantley? Is there any game that you used to see in a casino that you don't see anymore?
Honestly, I wish they would just bring back regular Tabasco. The old school S2000 Tabasco was a great game, and obviously, like they've had some different takes on it, but just the original Tabasco, and they're still around. You can still find them, and actually, I think Slot Machines Unlimited has a couple for sale. Which, by the way, if you guys are ever interested in purchasing your own slot machine for your house, you can check out our partners at Slot Machines Unlimited. Mention Cowboy Slots and also save some money. The information for them is on our website at ropethejackpot.com. But for me, it would be just old school Tabasco.
Yeah, that is a fun game to play for sure. We've seen some big hits on it too. All right. And Brian, I saw you in there making a couple comments. Willpower and budget control is what I've learned here. Thank you guys. So yeah, we talk about, busting myths and which machines to play and all that kind of stuff. But guys, at the end of the day, budgeting and willpower to stop is probably the most important thing. We met a couple last night, and I'm doing this for you. I taught her where the cash out button was. She doubled her money. She did the $100 thing, and she got it up to 200 and then up to 300, but she didn't cash out. She kept playing it, and she lost it all. So, yeah, willpower is very difficult. That's probably one of the hardest things. You're having a bunch of fun, especially if you're in there with friends and everybody's just winning. It's hard to put that limit to the test and say, I told myself when I got to 300 I was going to cash out. And then you start saying, well, maybe I'll go down to 250. And I'm guilty of this. I've done it too. But setting those limits and sticking to them is what is the hardest thing to do inside of a casino, because all of these things are doing back here is trying to get you to play more and more and more. And like we've always said, the longer you play slot machines, the more you're going to give it back. So it's totally up to you to decide when to take that stopping point, that break, where you just say, that's it for today, I'll come back tomorrow. I took 300. I took $100 up to 300. That's awesome. I'll try again tomorrow. Maybe I'll take the 300 up to 600, or I'll try in a couple hours, or whatever the case is. But putting those stopping points in and cashing out when you say you're going to cash out is the most important thing that we can teach you guys, because it can go downhill very fast. We both know that. We've both done it before. So, but thank you, Brian, and good luck out there. We really, really do appreciate the comment.
Absolutely. Very, very important. All right. Let's see. Three Real Motion just wanted to say hi, love the channel and all of the insight y'all provide. And thank you so much for introducing me to volatility and the magic of top dollar and pinball. My wins have increased a lot. That is awesome to hear. Always just keep in mind it is still gambling. I have had bad runs on top dollar and pinball before, so it's not always going to be a winning day. But if you keep consistently picking those low volatile machines, doing the budget control, finding that cash out button like Mark says, you're going to have a lot better time at the casino, and in the end you're going to make a lot more money in the casino as well. And off to see the wizard. Hey guys, on Lightning Link, when in a bonus, is there a different outcome if you stop the reels or let them spin off? I know you said said on regular play the outcome would be the same. It is the exact same. And actually guys, with stopping the reels, if you look in the game rules on the game, it will actually tell you in there that stopping the reels early does not affect the outcome of the game. It is merely a player courtesy. That is all it is. It does not affect the outcome of the spin. That is in the game rules, along with anytime you have to fill up a bowl or a pot or something like that with coins. It is purely just a visual, and that is also in the game rules as well. Thank you very much for your question. We really do appreciate it.
All right. And I see this one just came in. Tracy said, if you had $100, what machine would you choose and what bet amount? So I would probably choose some version of Top Dollar at $3 a bet. And I'll go ahead and answer for Brantley. I'd play pinball at dollar denomination,
Yep.
$3 a bet. Was I right?
You were right.
Okay. Good. All right. Yeah, there he goes. I saw the spin. And Greg says, hey guys, great channel. Does a slot machine have different random number generators for each denom? If not, how does the payback change? So I'm going to put up a link to a video here, but the quick answer to that is the RNG is the same. Random number generators are just random number generators. That's it. It's just a computer program that is just cycling through thousands and thousands and thousands of numbers every microsecond. And it stops whenever you hit the spin button, and it spits out a number. What happens after that is more of what you're talking about there, Greg. So different games have different pay tables. They have basically different virtual stops on virtual reels, and that is what the random number generator is picking from. So higher payback percentage machines will have more symbols rather than blanks, for example. Or they may have upgraded symbols. So a single bar becomes a double bar on a machine that is higher in payback percentage. So even though the random number generator is the same regardless of payback percentage, even regardless of what type of machine it is, what it's picking from is what is different. And that is the control mechanism of how slot machines can stay within a payback percentage. So that's what's going on there. So I hope that helps you out. And I'll answer one more real quick, Brentley. Wild Bill says, I have a double diamond S Plus that I converted to a double diamond deluxe, but I can't find any real strips for it. Was there ever a double diamond deluxe made on the S Plus platform? I'm pretty sure there was, but I don't know 100% for sure.
It's going to be hard to
Bill.
find.
Yeah, those are S Plus ones are very difficult. The benefit of S Plus, though, that I've always said, and I know this isn't the technical show, is that S Plus machines didn't have backlit reels, and so any reels that you find are going to be in good shape because the light wasn't blasting all the colors and stuff out. So if you do find them, and you could probably have them made, I don't know, it's possible. But good luck out there, Wild.
Very good luck. All right. Back to some other questions here. Question from Jerry, Brantley, and Mark. Have you heard when/if casinos are going cashless digital? I keep hearing we're going to be a cashless society. Very good question. I think for the casino industry, it's going to be a very, very long time because it opens up a whole world of various possibilities that are not too good. There are a couple of casinos out there that do already have some kind of cashless system out there that they're kind of testing. I think it's the station casinos. Some of them have kind of started to implement some kind of a cashless thing. But the problem is phones and credit cards and stuff like that can get very easily stolen. Numbers can get easily taken. Obviously, yeah, anybody can steal cash, but if you get cash stolen, it's a lot different than having your credit cards get stolen constantly, way more than cash does. So do phones. I know Mark got his phone stolen one time in Vegas. It probably wouldn't be. I mean, it opens up a wide range of security vulnerabilities. So I think it's going to be a while before we actually see full implementation of something like that. But very good question. And Drew has a question, was wondering, the must hit by jackpots, are your chances of getting it increased at all if you max bet? So this is a good one. So when you max bet on those must hit by progressives, all it's doing is it's adding to the progressive faster. So if you'll notice, if you sit down at an Ainsworth must hit by progressive and you just bet $1, the progressive might not even move, or it might move by like a fraction of a penny. If you bet $5, it might move like 2 pennies. But if you bet, $25, $50, $100, you'll see that counter just roll up a lot quicker. It gets to that point a lot quicker. Your chances aren't increased, but it's going to reach that point a lot quicker. And also on those Ainsworth games, those line hits can be really, really good, and so can those bonuses. Those, especially Thunder Cash. Thunder Cash can be a really, really good one. So your chances naturally increase the higher that number gets, because the higher that number gets to the must hit by point, your chances of getting it are going to naturally increase. Typically, I don't recommend playing it unless it's over the halfway point. It can hit under the half. I've had it hit it under the halfway point. I hit for 9,400 on a must hit by not too long ago, like 6 months or so ago. So it's possible, but I hope that helps to answer your question. Very good question. Thank you.
Yeah, and we saw somebody last night hit it at, it was a 5,000, it was a 4,000 to 5,000 range, and they hit it at like 4,600, so just over the halfway range. But again, it could be anywhere. Got to make sure that's said. We've seen it go all the way to the end, so just be very careful with those, because they can drain you dry. All right, and Davey has a good question here. All things being equal, does a player earn tier point at different rates depending on if they keep switching machines or concentrate their play on a single machine? So what's going on here is that tier credits are earned about how much you are wagering. It is not about the style of the machine, except when it comes to the overall style of the machine. And what I mean by that is slot machines, video poker, video blackjack. They all are different. You're not going to earn much tier credits, and sometimes no tier credits at all. Some of those video roulette or electronic roulette games, you earn 0 tier credits on. Some you do. Gamma Gloves found some, but most you don't. But on slot machines, inside of a slot machine bucket, essentially, whatever you're wagering is what's being recorded to your tier credits. It doesn't matter the type of machine. So I hope that helps a little bit. And X-Ray has a good question. On video poker, if the machine is set to pay a royal flush, deals a royal flush, and I accidentally throw a card away, will the card come back because it's set to pay the royal? No. It's not set to pay anything. The actual dealing of the cards and the shuffling of the cards is 100% random. So if you got dealt a royal flush and you accidentally let one of the cards go, you're not getting that card back because it's already been pulled out. So, don't make that mistake. But that's not how video poker works. Video poker does not know in advance what it needs to pay you or what it needs to deal you. That part is 100% random, and that is why it's super important on video poker that you learn optimum strategy. Because if you don't, and you're just kind of guessing at it, that is when you are eroding away your payback average potential on that machine. And so you may hear all the time, and we've talked about on here, we've done interviews where video poker is the only electronic game inside of a casino that has the potential of even going over 100% payback return to the player. But that is only if you're playing 100% optimum strategy. As soon as you deviate from that, that number drops rapidly. So hope that helps explain a little bit more. But if you really want some in-depth information about video poker, definitely check out back in the library, just search for video poker cowboy slots. You'll find a great interview that Brantley did with the Jackpot Gents guy and Jackpot Gents guys, and yeah, you'll learn more about video poker than you probably ever wanted to know. I learned a lot from it, so but go check that one out. Thank you, X-Ray.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Jackpot slots. Are 3-reel slots going away? I prefer high limit machines, but I'm not a fan of the Hoot Loot slot machines. They are actually not going away. We have talked to several people in the industry. IGT just came out with the brand new Diamond RS cabinet. It is a 3-reel slot machine, and they are still. IGT does a phenomenal job of retaining those classic games. So yeah, they're not going away anytime soon. People really do like them. There might be less and less of them, but they're not going away. They are still being made. So we can all rest easy when it comes to that. And Kathleen says, would you ever be open to a Cowboy Slots machine like Brian Christopher's Pop and Pays? I think Cowboy Slots would be pretty cool to rope jackpots. Of course we would be open to it. We would absolutely be open to it. In fact, when we, when we were did our legal stuff for our trademarks and copyrights and everything, I actually bought the legal rights and trademarks to any device with Cowboy Slots name. So we already own the legal rights to it. So it's a possibility. You never know. Stick around. Thank you for your question.
All right. I'll take a couple here. So Sam says, do back doors still exist on slots? No, they're all in the front. No, I think I know what you're talking about. No, there's no back door or hidden way to trick a slot into doing anything. I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions out there, is that there's some way to trick a slot machine into doing something. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. Even if you knew everything that we know about slot machines, there's still no way to trick them into paying. So no, there's no back doors. There's nothing you can do to manipulate a slot machine into paying you out. Back in the day, they used to have things like mechanisms that use magnets and stuff to trick the meters into giving you credits and all that, but that is all gone now. That is not possible with any machine that's currently on the floor. So, and Michael Robinson says, Mark, how did your phone get stolen in Vegas? Did you forget and leave it on the table or on a machine? What? You have it? No, I left it on a bar top. I was at a video poker bar top, and man, was he slick. I didn't even see it. Just took it. Sat right next to me and took it. You guys, you got to be very careful. And I actually heard from some fans that emailed me that they got their cash out tickets stolen right from their hand. They were just holding it like this while they were sitting at a game, and someone ran by and just grabbed it and took off running. And there's nothing you can do at that point. They're fast, and especially on the weekends. If you're in Vegas on the weekends, you got to be very aware of your surroundings. Don't be counting your cash in public. If you got to count your cash for whatever reason, go to the hotel room or go up to the cashier's cage and say, hey, can I count this right here or something? But don't do it out in the open. These people are constantly looking to grab your stuff. So you got to be very aware of what's going on. And there is only so much security you can do, guys, because by the time that they get it, they are out the door before security can even be called. So just be very careful.
Very good. We do have a $20 super chat from Maria. Maria, thank you very much. We really do appreciate that. Maria asks, is there any way to test the payout on a slot machine while playing? Good question, Maria. Mark and I are going to answer this one together. No, there is not. There is no way that you can possibly test the payout for a slot machine while you're playing it. That number, that return to player, again, it is very theoretical and it's very much over time. It takes upwards of 10 million spins. That information, we know that because it's on the par sheet. There's no way to really test the payout on a slot machine. But thank you very much, Maria, for your super chat. We really do appreciate it. Mark, do you want to add anything to that? I saw we
No, that's perfect. No,
all right.
That's exactly right.
All right, and I'll take a couple more here. Proud Monkey, along with Kathleen's question, would love to see a Cowboy Slots section in a casino with all low volatile machines. Wouldn't that be awesome? I can only tell you one thing, and that is to stay tuned. Stay tuned on that, guys. All right, I'll take one more since that one was quick. Dave says, what are your thoughts on online slots? Don't play them. They're not real slot machines. They are games that look like slot machines. It's a huge gray legal area. You've got a lot of these online casinos operating as sweepstakes, stuff like that. We do not recommend any online casinos. If you must play online casinos, stick with a legal, legit online casino like Caesars, MGM, FanDuel, stuff like that. If you absolutely must. But other than that, we don't recommend it. All right, back to you, Mark.
Alrighty, sounds good. And Seattle Susie Q said, I have a friend who got a hand pay, walked into her car, and was robbed by someone who had been watching her. Guys, this is the other thing. I'm glad you brought this up. One thing I do hate, and this happened to me yesterday, is I hate it when somebody is behind me watching me play. If you ever notice that, my advice is to immediately cash out and go somewhere else. And if they follow you, go to security. This is a very big problem, again, on weekends, on very crowded casinos. People will watch you. They will wait for you to hit a big amount, and then they will strike, whether it's stealing or just asking you for money or whatever the case is. So seriously, I know it's very easy to sit down on a slot machine and just be watching the slot machine, but I am always looking around. Sometimes you can just feel like somebody's watching you. And you turn around, and sure enough, there's somebody there. If that's the case, don't sit there and keep playing. Just get up and move and come back later if it's a machine that you really like playing or whatever. Just be very, very careful. And if anything looks suspicious, feel free to reach out to an attendant or, security desk or something and let them know. Because you're going to be doing other people a favor. Dave and I were playing, and some guy walked by, and he's like, hey, you want to buy some AirPods? And they were clearly fake AirPods. They were in an Apple box and everything, but I knew they were fake. And so do the right thing. Go tell security, hey, there's a guy in there trying to con people. Protect your fellow neighbor from getting the same kind of, interaction with somebody. It's just going to happen, guys, especially on crowded nights, and there's not much security is going to be able to help you. So just be very aware of your surroundings. If you do hit a big hand pay and you're feeling uneasy, talk to the staff about it. Say, hey, I don't want you to pay me right here. Can you pay me at the cashier's cage? Or something like that, because there's this creepy guy watching me. Or can you escort me back up to my hotel room, or escort me back to my car and wait till I drive off? They will do this. They will absolutely do this. But you got to ask, and you got to be aware of your surroundings. All right, last one. Terry says, my casino only has 9-line pinball. I assume this would be higher volatility at any denomination. Is that right? Yes, that is absolutely right. That game can be very tricky. I think it's a lot of fun, but it's not one that I would bank a lot of money into. Because it can drain it pretty fast. And that's just the unfortunate side. It's a high volatility game. It's fun. I enjoy playing it. But I typically only play it when I'm actually doing well from other machines. And then I'll go in there and try it a little bit. Because it can be good. But like all high volatility games, can be is the key words there. And that one can really suck. So, just be very careful. And unfortunately, that's the only new one out right now. Maybe they'll come out with a single pay line version. We hope they do. And put those more back into the casino. But we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, very good. Sean Lashley here has a question. There were 4 machines in a line with $20,000 must hit by jackpots at 19.5, and a lady was playing all 4 machines going back and forth spinning. Is this allowed? Wanted to play one, but didn't know how to proceed. It really depends on the casino. That is an individual casino's policy. Most casinos will not allow that. If you encounter that, or this topic actually also came up on our forums, on our website recently about what do you do if somebody is like hogging up machines, or they leave a ticket in there, they put a purse there, they prop up a chair or something. That is not appropriate. It's really unfortunate that people do that. All you have to do, the proper steps to take, is just ask a floor worker. Ask a floor worker, slot attendant, whoever, and they will either remove the money or take the chair away or something like that so that you can play that machine. Most casinos do not allow people to save machines. Some casinos might, some casinos do. I don't know, but most casinos do not allow people to save machines. And also, guys, if you ever have to leave your slot machine for any reason, if you're playing and you've got to, run to the restroom or grab a drink or something like that, the proper thing to do is to ask a floor worker to watch your machine for you while you step away. Typically, they'll say, okay, I can watch it for up to 10 minutes or something like that. That is the appropriate thing to do. So thank you very much for your question. Really do appreciate that. And also, guys, just real quick, just wanted to remind you all again, because those new poker chips are in stock. We did have a production delay on them, but they are in stock now, especially that new green color, which is really, really cool. Help us out if you want to sport some of the new Cowboy Slots poker chips. We also do have a bundle deal. It's there on our website, and all of those do go to help support the channel. We really do appreciate that. And also check out our forums where you can ask your questions 24/7. You can talk to people in your local areas. These forums are really, really cool, guys, and they've been so popular with people, especially if you're traveling someplace, or you're not sure if this casino has pinball, or if you're not sure this casino has top dollar. That is what those forums are there for. So be sure to check that out. And also, there was one more question up here. We were talking about security. Seattle Susie Q, can you ask for a check instead? Yes, you can. You can always ask for a check instead of cash. Most casinos can give you a check. There are some casinos out there that might not, unless it's over a certain amount. But thank you very much for your question.
All right, and we'll start to wrap it up here. Let me take one more here. And yeah, we were talking about, Pamela's like, you can ask the casino floor worker to watch your machine. Yes, you can absolutely do that. And Kevin is right. Tip your attendant if they do hold the machine.
Yes.
Give them a couple dollars. You're taking time out of their busy schedule. And don't have them hold the machine and then you go up and take a shower and come back down, guys. Like, this is a temporary thing. If you, like Brantley said, you need to go to the bathroom, you need to go get a drink or whatever the case is. Yeah, just be reasonable, guys, please. They're very busy people.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to go ahead. We are going to round out our Sunday Slots 101 show. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on the Cowboy Slot channel. Members, you do have the Member Monday stream, which is tomorrow. All of our live streams start at 7 p.m. Central Time. And our next live stream is going to be on Wednesday. That's our advanced show. So be sure to join us on Wednesday for our Slots Advanced show, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. And also, please don't forget to check out our website where you can get your questions answered 24/7. It's always free. There's nothing to buy or anything like that. You can talk to people in your own area. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's been having a lot of great times on there. So, guys, thank you all so much. We really do appreciate each and every one of you. As always, best of luck. Stay safe, and we will see you again next episode. Take care, guys.
Have a good week, guys.